All right, so earlier this week I ordered a incubator, baby chick incubator, and I got it in the mail, and I just got it put together. It's got eggs in there, and it's running. I'm doing this video. This is my space. I was putting baby seedlings together from the last couple videos. Doing this video just to talk about chickens. Chickens are in the news. The cost of eggs has gone sky high, and so just a couple of little tips and information on starting your own backyard flock. So here we go. Yesterday was talking about starting your own indoor seed starts with potting mix and getting some things going. I've got those going back over here in that little workspace. But today I want to talk about chickens and chicken eggs. Right now there's a conspiracy going around the internet that there's something wrong with chickens. They're not laying eggs. They're not producing. It has something to do with the chicken feed. Most backyard coop enthusiasts, such as myself, we shop at Tractor Supply, and that's where we get most of our chicken feed and how we pretty much supplement our backyard flocks of chickens, right? So a lot of us throw out chicken scraps and that sort of thing, table scraps to the chickens, really. And I let my birds free range so they can pick up on bugs and grass and whatever else they want to peck at out there. I got a whole acre in the back. They can just go do their thing. It's beneficial to my property because it keeps down on scorpions. I live in South Texas, and chickens love eating scorpions, so I almost never see any scorpions. Don't ever see any roaches, any of the nuisance types of critters that kind of crawl in under the door, especially in the wintertime when it starts getting cold. I don't have that problem. I don't see that. But right now, the scuttlebutt, if you will, in the chicken world on mine is that there's a chicken feed conspiracy happening right now, and so people aren't getting eggs. But the best way to combat having to go to the store and buy store-bought eggs at like $10 or $12 a dozen is to raise your own chickens. So how do you do that? So when it comes to starting your own flock, you've got a few options, right? Every feed store that I've ever known, in the springtime they have baby chicks, and Tractor Supply does it too, obviously. And you gotta have to get there early to get some chicks and get those going. You're gonna have to build a coop. They make little coops that you can put together already pre-manufactured, some assembly required little coops that you can put together for yourself. Man, if you ain't tried these yet, Mexican vanilla, it's delicious. I live in South Texas, so anyhow, not an endorsement, just I only got about 5 hours of sleep last night. It was a rainstorm came through, dogs were barking, it was nuts. So you can get your own chicks, you can raise them, you can get a prefabbed little pre-manufactured chicken coop, you can put it all together yourself. I actually have one just for that purpose, for baby chicks. There's a lot of plans online you can look up and find for building your own. It doesn't take a whole lot to get them started. That's not the purpose of this video, though, is to talk about chicken coops. So you got baby chicks. You can go get baby chicks. You can find somebody on like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace that might be selling birds, pullets, and chickens in your area. I've had some success doing that in the past when I needed to start up a flock after moving around. So that's always an option. And then today, what I'm getting to today is the third option here, which it's going to take some ingenuity, but once you get it going, it can sustain you indefinitely, and you can grow your flock indefinitely. So I just got in the mail. Just got through cutting open the top on this. So got an incubator. It's a chick hatching incubator. It's very inexpensive. I think it costs like 40 bucks. And I just don't want to come out of there. It's going to need some persuasion. I'll get the persuader out here. Just going to slice this down just a hair. Man, this is cardboard made out of. So there she is in all her glory. Turn this around there. Let's see what this is all about. What do we have here? A nice little setup instructions. 16 piece. So I can incubate 16 eggs at a time. Got a little assembly that's going to be required. So we're going to put that together today. And the rest of it in here is, looks like it's just the parts that come with it. So, pretty simple little kit. This is made out of styrofoam, it looks like. And this would be the humidity and fan and modulator and a couple of the other little components that it looks like you're going to need for it. There's the digital display once we get it all set up and going. So I'm gonna work on getting this thing totally set up here. I'm not gonna bore you to tears with an hour-long video of me putting this whole thing together. So the assembly here is a lot more simple than I actually imagined. This whole piece right here is one unit, nothing to put together at all. And I'm going to put a link in the description of this video as to where I got this from. It plugs directly into the lower unit here. I'm going to call this the upper unit and the lower unit. Plugs directly in, and then once you get everything inside the unit situated, it just sits down right on top, just like that. Pretty simple in its utility there. And then on the inside, it's got a little dish here for moisture, so you keep your humidity level set just right. And it's got all that laid out in the instructions on how to set your electronic component to where it monitors the humidity level the way that you need it to be set up. So underneath, it's got just a little plastic tray liner that just drops down like so, down inside. And then you've got rollers. And if you look on the inside here, there's a little set of gears. So this is a motor on the outside, and all it does is turn those gears every so often, and when your egg's laying on top, it just rolls the egg over, just like a chicken would. And the actual electronic device that runs it all, it's got a little mechanism that has a timer, and at a certain time it rotates your eggs. So these are the rollers, and they just sit down just like that. And there's several of them, so you just space them out in the little grooves that are in there. Pretty simple. The eggs go in between, and then when it rolls, it'll roll your egg over. When the timer that you set on the settings tells it to do so, and it just keeps rolling your eggs one side to the other, like simulating what a mother hen would do, a broody hen would do. That's pretty much it. You put your eggs inside here, and I'm next going to go out to the coop and get some eggs, put them in here, and we're going to get started. We're going to see what this bad boy will do. All that's left, it's really just got two different power options here. You got one where you can basically set it up on a battery, so that's kind of cool. That's one option. You want to set this out in your barn or out in your workshop, right? You don't have access to an actual power unit, and if you do, well then there you go. You got your little power unit, and it just plugs right on in. And it couldn't get any more simple than that. Just add eggs once you set it up, and you read your settings, and you adjust your settings to where you want it to be. And yeah, that's the whole setup right there. So I'm no NASA brain scientist, surgeon, rocketeer. Elon Musk has not hired me yet. So if a guy who's as redneck smart as me can figure out something like this, then anybody can do it. So I'm gonna go grab some eggs out of the coop and see what we got. All right, so this is something that your chickens do require. They require a rooster so that you can have fertilized eggs. So I've got my little flock of birdies here, and several of them. So I do have a rooster, so my eggs are fertilized, and I took out the eggs yesterday. So these are 4 little eggs that we're gonna go put in the incubator. So back here in my my little workspace that I made, and you saw in my video from yesterday, my plants are all right here, that little shelf area. And I've got a little Whirlpool refrigerator that, man, it's a perfect little space. Look at that, incubator right on top. Got access to power right here, so I can plug it in. And I got my eggs that I just took out of the chicken coop. So what I'm gonna do on my eggs, on the crown of my egg, is just, I'm gonna simply write the date that I got them out of the coop. So today is the date. It's gonna go on my eggs, right? That way I know how many days until I should expect some chicks to be popping out, right? And that's it. And every day now I'm gonna go out to my coop and I'm gonna grab a couple of eggs, and I get about, a dozen a day. So I may have to go without eggs for a few days, and that's all right, because in the long run I'm going to end up with hopefully more birds out of this. So that's the plan, right? So looky there, inside my incubator now I've got 4 little eggs that are ready to go. Now I'm just gonna have to set the top down in there, plug her in. And there she goes. You can kind of hear, look at that, it's got the internal temperature. Looks like it's already starting to warm up in there. And I'm going to follow the directions on what it says to do. And I'm going to add some moisture to the little humidity tray that's in there. And I'm going to read through the instructions, make sure that it turns the eggs as it's supposed to. And man, a couple of days, if I'm getting 4 eggs a day and I want to throw 16 eggs in there, it's only going to take a few days and I can fill that thing up with eggs. So I may have to go without chicken eggs for a few days, but that's not the end of the world. I'm not going to go to the store and buy any. But worst case scenario, right? I throw 16 eggs in there, and only half of them actually make it all the way to baby chicks. That's 8 little baby chicks right there. Cost me nothing except for about 40 bucks to get an incubator and time. I believe it takes about, what, 21 days? I'm going to look it up. Takes about 3 weeks to hatch a baby chick. So, I mean, let's just say it even takes up to 4 weeks. All right, so 4 weeks, and let's say half of these turn out. That's 8 baby chicks, 50% ratio of success every single 3 to 4 weeks. And, man, you can, once this thing's filled up, you know, I go back to collecting my own eggs. That way I don't miss out on egg production and being able to enjoy scrambled eggs, fried eggs, boiled eggs, you know, making eggs for brownie mix and all that kind of stuff, throwing them in my cornbread, whatever. So man, boom, in a couple of weeks, gonna have some baby chicks, and then I'm gonna do this again and again. I'm gonna keep adding to my my flock of birds until I'm up to like however many birds I want. And you know, I can keep doing this. I can post an ad on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist, and I can help my neighbors. I can go next door, help my buddy set up a little chicken coop, give him some eggs. Boom, man, I'm helping out folks. You know what I mean? Free chickens, buddy. And they're not gonna have been vaccinated. So Bill Gates, you ain't getting your grubby mitts on my birds. You're not gonna stab them full of a bunch of poison. It doesn't get much more organic than that, right? Raising your own chickens. So to recap, you know, you've got a few options. If you don't have chickens yet, you can get on Facebook, you can look around, and maybe there's some people in your area that are doing exactly what I'm doing. They're hatching chicks and they're turning a slight profit. Man, you could sell baby chicks for, you know, $5 a pop. Man, if you crank out, you know, 10 baby chicks every single few weeks with just one of these, and they make these things where they'll crank out 100. I mean, if you have 100 eggs that you can throw in here, man, every 21 days you can make up to $500 just baby chicks. And I guarantee you right now, with the way that everybody's talking about chicken eggs and the prices of everything going up, man, folks they're going to be turning to this type of solution for themselves, for their friends, for their family, for their community. So here you go. There it is. 15 minutes. Got this thing set up and running. Ran out to my coop. I got a rooster. I've got birds. I have a variety of different chickens. I don't have just one species of chicken per se, or one variety. I don't have all my eggs in one basket, right? So yeah, gonna see what happens. So in about a couple weeks, I'm gonna make another video, and when these baby birds start hatching, tune back in. It's gonna be exciting. We'll see what our success ratio is. So recap, every day I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna put some more eggs in here until I'm up to 16 eggs, and I'm gonna write the date on the shell, and as they begin to hatch, we're gonna let them hatch. Then I'm gonna take them outside and put them in my little baby chicken coop that I've got, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. Hope this was informative and entertaining. And once again, check back in a couple weeks. All right. Thank you very much.